Good morning, St. Lucia, and welcome to This Morning Waking Up in the Know with me, Jenna and Gastor. It is Tuesday, May 31st, the last day of the month, and I am so happy that the month is over. You know why? It's payday. Just joking. But politics is in the air because elections is coming up, and we've got 6 more days to go. Next week, Monday, St. Lucians will go to the polls, and therefore saturating our news and our headlines is obviously politics. So let's start. According to a public opinion poll conducted over the weekend, the St. Lucia Labour Party may have only a very slight edge over the UWP going into the next general election. The survey has the SLP recording 34% and the UWP securing 33% of the committed vote share. Don Nicholas has that report.
The Caribbean Development Research Services conducted a public opinion poll over the weekend. Some 1,000 people were interviewed. 34% were in favor of the SLP winning the election, while 33% said UWP. The remainder were either unsure or would not vote. 55% indicated a desire for a change of government, while 56% said they wanted a change of leader.
And for that reason, we've done a swing analysis. The swing analysis basically allocates uncommitted votes based on the historic reality. We do that to see if we can get a swing or a trend. And what we're seeing, if we do that, is that we are estimating that on the trajectory that they had last weekend, if an election was held then, the SLP would have emerged with 51% of the total popular vote, and the UWP would have emerged with 49% of the total popular vote. And if we compare that with what they had in the last election, which was 51% and 47%, we're looking at a swing away from the SLP of 0.4% and a swing towards the UWP of 1.7%, which means that the UWP has essentially taken up a lot of the vote which would have gone to other independent forces in the previous election.
The poll also indicated that 31% wanted to retain Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony as leader, while 28% were in favor of UWP leader Alan Chasney taking over the reins, up from 19% from a poll that was done in October 2015. This, according to officials, indicates that Mr. Chasney has gained popularity over the past few months. The Caribbean Development Research Services also noted that the momentum is now with the UWP.
In October 2015, we found that 31% of St. Lucians preferred Kenny Anthony, while 19% preferred Mr. Alan Chasney. As far as uncertain voters were concerned, 18% of St. Lucians who were uncommitted were preferring Kenny Anthony, 7% were preferring Alan Chasney. We have a situation in May of 2016, based on this poll, that 31% of St. Lucians support Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony still, while 28% of St. Lucians prefer the leadership of Mr. Alan Chasney. Among uncertain voters, we've had another interesting development where now 13% of uncertain voters are opting for Alan Chasney, while 7% of uncertain voters are opting for Kenny Anthony. So if we attempt to compare those two scenarios, what we're seeing is that Dr. Anthony has lost 11% of his support among the uncertain voters, while Mr. Alan Chasney has gained 6% of support among uncertain voters.
The Caribbean Development Research Services acknowledged the fact that a lot could happen within the next 7 days leading up to Election Day that could swing the pendulum one way or another. General elections will be held on June 6. For the DVS News World, I am Don Nicholas.
And still in the campaign, with the election clock ticking for some voters to make their choice, the ruling St. Lucia Party continues to elaborate on its social economic development plan. The party held another in a series of press conferences on yesterday, this one focusing on plans of the water and energy sectors and its plan to wean the country off fossil fuels. Sarah Peter has that report.
The St. Lucia Labour Party unveiled some of the major plans it intends to undertake if it is victorious at the upcoming general elections. Some of the initiatives include the opening of a new dam on the Tumasay River, a complete transition away from fossil fuels, and the development of the island's information technology services.
In our next term of office, we will commence preliminary studies on the construction of a reservoir and dam in the Chumase River, which will assure that from Mikod on the east coast to Labri on the west coast, we'll have a sufficient water supply of potable water for decades to come. For us in the St. Lucia Labour Party, there is no problem that is too big to be fixed.
We will use the ICT access centers around the island to provide free training to young people who are looking to enhance their skills and become more marketable in this knowledge-based environment. We will provide training in areas such as mobile app development, digital photography and videography, website development, the use of Photoshop and other digital editing software, and social marketing.
Minister of Youth and Sport Sean Edwards highlighted a number of geothermal energy plans. He has promised that measures will be put in place to ensure that there are no negative impacts on the environment in the event these initiatives are undertaken.
Plans are well on the way for the construction of a 12-megawatt wind farm in the vicinity of the Bodley Correctional Facility. This is a major joint venture with a US-based company, and when it is fully commissioned, this wind farm will generate 20% of our current peak demand for electricity and supply enough electricity to power 19,475 homes and reduce the amount of diesel Lucilec consumes by 10%. Almost simultaneously, we are pursuing the development of a 3.2 megawatt utility-scale solar plant in Beaufort South. This modern solar generation facility will be built by Lucilec, and already 35 companies from the US, Canada, Europe, Latin America, and the Caribbean have expressed an interest in developing this facility.
The press conference was held Monday at the SLP headquarters. For the DVS News World, I am Sarah Peter.
And those were some of the headlines of last evening's newscast. When we come back, I've got your daily horoscope up next. Welcome back, guys, and it's now time for your daily horoscope. Aries, come out of your shell today. You'll notice that people are much more sensitive to your feelings because they seem to be more emotional themselves. Communication is likely to occur more through unspoken channels than traditional methods. Taurus, you may feel a bit restless because you know something is brewing but can't seem to get hold of it. This energy is like a river rushing beneath your feet while you stand on a bridge. The water is tempting, yet you can't summon up the courage to jump in. Gemini, if you wake up this morning and want nothing more than to stay under the sheets and cuddle a little longer, know that you aren't alone. There is a sensitive warmth about the day that's making you feel vulnerable. Make sure to surround yourself with supportive people today. Cancer, you may find yourself taking the high road today. It could be that you're like a bird soaring above the landscape. As you fly, your partner is on the ground trying his or her best to keep up. If you keep flying straight, you'll get lost and confused about and may not find your way back. Leo, today you'll feel as though your energy has come home. Oftentimes, you aren't feeling 100% yourself. You'll refuse to leave the house. Today, you should feel much better and ready to take on the world. Your emotions are in line with your actions, and things could be crystal clear for you. Virgo, your wacky personality will be appreciated today, but don't take it too far. Leave room for seriousness to enter the picture. There's a dreamy, cloudy sensation to the day that might make it difficult for you to concentrate on any one thing. Libra, you should try to feel at ease today. Remember that inner peace is a big part of your health. This can be achieved through reflection and a quiet review of where you are in life. Try not to focus too much on material things. Instead, concentrate more on your emotional state. Scorpio, it may be hard to find answers today. It may also be hard for you to get your point across, especially since everyone's head is way up in the clouds. Don't be surprised if your own head takes a trip up there as well. Sagittarius, this is your day. You may find that people gravitate to you for advice and support. They apt to lower their guard and more openly accept things you believe in. Conversations could lead to more spiritual topics, and you could end up giving lessons on the meaning of life. Capricorn, it's important for you to be extra cautious today. Make sure you're calm and collected before you get behind the wheel of a car. Be sure to have a helmet if you're going to go riding. Aquarius, you may not want to be openly admit something to someone today, Aquarius, even though you know it's true. You're more than likely working to hide behind a barrier that has formed between you and a close loved one or a family member. Pisces, like playing a game of chess, you may need to think through your next move carefully. It could be that your opponent is taking a long time to make the next move and you're impatient.
That has been your daily horoscope for today, Tuesday, May 31st, 2016. When we come back, I'm going to take you away from all the politics and let's meet some of our designers and local photographers who have been taking the market both internationally and regionally by storm.
Welcome back, St. Lucia, and joining me at my breakfast table, I told you I would have two guests with me here this morning, is faces that are not unfamiliar to the scene. I mean, I don't think anybody needs to know Miss Membet herself. From the time you see Tariba, you already know it's all about bags, 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 and more bags. And well, this gentleman next to me, you may not know his face per se, but I sure do know that you know his work. And I think you're most popular for, what would you say, your drone shots?
Maybe, yeah.
Or
Anything
your
photography related.
Photography or your social media presence. Which one is it?
Maybe a bit of both. Yeah.
All right, guys. So I have with me Tariba and James here this morning. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good, thanks.
So recently you sent me a link.
Yes.
You said, Jenna, take a look at this. And then before I even opened your email, I saw it online. It was your journey at Jamaica Caribbean Fashion Week, I believe, and you guys documented it. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, I had a goal for last year, which was to do a fashion show outside of St. Lucia. So Caribbean Fashion Week is the biggest fashion show outside of St. Lucia, so I thought that would be a good place for me to go. So I got a grant from the Ministry of Creative Industries, and so did Fiona. And, you know, we made a big hoopla about it. We're going to Caribbean Fashion Week. So then this gentleman next to me says, do you guys need photographers? I'm like, but of course, come, you know, as jokes, you know. But then he went out and he got funded from Digicel. And him and Jesse Evans of Waymaker Photography were able to come with us and document our entire journey, and I think that really helped boost our profile while we were there. And I mean, we had an awesome time. It was a lot of fun.
Now, how did you feel going out there working with these two crazy ladies? Because I know Fiona and Tariba are not easy to deal with.
I'm a mother. I am so calm.
How was it?
It was really interesting. Like she said, it started as a joke because it was literally they were on the radio talking about it.
Right.
And then I just so happened to message while they were live on air. And they were just like, yeah, we should come with Ingrid, the drone, and, you know, we'll fly in the drone. And that's when I was just like thinking, and again, you know, huge thanks to Digicel, because we sent in a proposal and, you know, they were just like, yeah, no problem. And they helped
in record time, came on board,
within a few days, and we had a response, and they paid for our passes and stuff for us to be able to get there. And then, yeah, like when we got there, I mean, it was hilarious. So as soon as we saw them, they were dancing, and we were able to get
we
that
never
on.
stopped dancing,
Yeah.
No, we never stopped
I realized.
dancing. Yes.
Now, the documentary is out, but I do remember that when you guys were in Jamaica, you were already posting little snippets of what was to come, giving us St. Lucians a little insight of what was going on in Jamaica. How do you do that? You're quite fast. Like at the event, boop, 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 it's up there. How do you manage to do that? Give us the secret, James.
I can't tell you that. But yeah, I mean, persons like to stay connected, whether it was last year with that, when it was with Teddyson this year and Soca Monarch. Like, people just want to be connected, and that's something that we really need to do more of. Whether it's ourselves at Wavemaker Photography or other photographers, we need to start documenting St. Lucians when they are representing us, whether it's the Olympics, hint, hint, whatever it may be, wherever we may go. We need to make sure that we always have a photographer or video person on board because St. Lucians want to know what's going on. It shouldn't be a case of, you know, down the line after the fact.
Right. You get some written press release.
Exactly.
And then you have to wait on photos that maybe another photographer took who's not exactly paying attention to St. Lucia.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the biggest benefits of having Wavemaker with us, is that it really boosted our profile, because people were wondering, who are these girls? Because it was like we had our own personal paparazzi.
You came with your own paparazzi.
Exactly.
Especially on the red carpet, right?
Oh my goodness, the red carpet was the best. They went in before us.
Right.
It was the gala the night before, and then they went in before us, and then they waited, and then we walked in and we stopped at the red carpet, and they started taking pictures, and then you saw the other photographers like, oh, these people are probably important. So then everybody just came. Yes, it was a surreal moment for me. It's like, oh my God, I feel so lucky, but in the same breath I'm like, you guys have no idea who I am. But I mean, we got so much exposure because even Caribbean Fashion Week themselves used a lot of their photos, because they were so quick with it, whereas I guess whoever they were using did not have this real-time posting. So I mean, Wavemaker got so much exposure because, I mean, of course, it's branded Wavemaker, Digicel, Membet, Paradise Prince, Ministry of Creative Industries, and that is just out there and it was being reposted, and that really helped. That really helped.
So you got a lot of networking and marketing done through this initiative.
Absolutely.
By just going out there and putting yourself out there.
Yep.
And this, you didn't do it at any cost. You just wanted to go there and document. That's pretty good. Now, guys, I don't know if you've had the chance to see it yet. We will be airing the documentary on DVS, and I'm going to show you a few snippets throughout the show as we're talking. We'll put some overlay of that. But I've had the opportunity of working with Tariba as well, and one thing I realize is that her kids are always around. And she makes no mistakes. She does not care if she's filming for the Golden Globes. Her kids are always around. Tell me, are you very close with your kids? They mean a lot to you, especially them looking at you as a young entrepreneur. Why is it that you ensure, or not ensure, but you make sure that your kids are always apart?
Because, I mean, Membet, first and foremost, was inspired by my son. It was something I started doing so that I could stay home and be with him when he was a baby. I did not want to go back to the office setting just yet. That's first and foremost. I also think it is important for them to understand how hard mommy works and the value of $1. Okay, so I like them to be proud of me, and I like them to know that, hey, anything you want, even if you want mommy to buy you a lollipop, this bag needs to finish so mommy can sell it so that I can get money, so I can first of all, you know, buy you proper food, and then I can buy you a lollipop. So I think they are really understanding. I mean, when I get new supplies, they're as excited as I am. When I have a pop-up, they love to come. They love to sell, and my son, as he's a little older, actually sells. I remember the last Carnival pop-up shop, he wanted a Felly Belly, and I said, if you want a Felly Belly, you're going to have to sell 2 bags. And he took 2 bags, and he went, and he sold the 2 bags. Okay, look, mommy, can I have my Felly Belly now? And I said, yes.
Young hustlers. That's
yes. Child labor.
Now tell us, what were some of the challenges you'd say you experienced in Jamaica?
Challenges?
Yeah. Were there any challenges?
It's a good question.
I mean, maybe organizational challenges. I mean, not left on our part. I think we were pretty ready when we got there, I mean, I like to think that we are experienced designers, Fiona and myself, so we know what to ask for, how to prepare ourselves and everything. I think any of the challenges probably were a little bit on the other end, the communication, just trying to, you know, understanding where we need to be, what time, etc., etc. But I mean, things went quite smoothly. There's a little issue with a model I had. You saw it on the video, a little timing issue, but then that was solved itself. So yeah.
And did you have any challenges in terms of how the other media interacted with you, how you were greeted by the organizers of the Caribbean Festival, the fashion show?
Not really. I can't really say that we were. I mean, again, we were more focusing on, you know, documenting, you know, making sure that their stuff is showcased. So, in terms of when we got there, in terms of the other media houses, we didn't really have to deal too much. We're very sufficient, like efficient in terms of ourselves, self-sufficient. So we were able to handle all of our stuff ourselves, without any challenges, even right down to transportation.
Yes.
As soon as we got there, a friend of mine in Jamaica just literally gave me his Jeep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were able to travel around freely, explore the place.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
and you guys had a blast, apart from just filming and
it was a lot of fun. We did have a lot of fun.
And we're going back to Jamaica, are we?
Not this year. Actually, we're going to DC. We're going to DC at the end of June. I vowed never to go to a fashion show without these guys again. And my last fashion show overseas was in Anguilla, and Jessie came with She Magazine. And now that we're going to DC, they're on board again, right?
So
put him on the spot.
So you going everywhere with your paparazzi?
No, but we have to, because, you know, as St. Lucians, you know, people probably figuring them, you know, small island people. Nobody really looks at us. You know, you have to kind of make people look at you. It's not all the time when I'm being loud and dancing that people are gonna look at me. You know, I need to have that professional thing, and I think having your own media people with you, you know, gives you that opportunity to stand out.
And I couldn't agree more. And guys, there's so much more for us to talk about. I know that James is being a little quiet here on the side. He's not usually so quiet. Maybe you should check him up on Snapchat. That's when you'll get to see a little more of his personality. But don't worry, I'm going to try to get some more out of him. And well, Tariba, she's going to tell us, now that I know that she's going to DC, let's get to know a little bit about that trip coming up. So we're going to go to a commercial break, and we will be right back. And welcome back, guys, and I've been having a very interesting and fun conversation with these two here. And Tariba just let the cat out of the bag. She let us know that she is on her way to DC, and Wavemaker is once again following her, her official paparazzi. Do you like to be called paparazzi?
Not really.
What do you prefer?
Just what? Media team.
Media team. All right. So her media professionals will be following her to DC. So tell us a little bit about DC.
Well, it's myself and Fiona again. I mean, she just follows me everywhere. But essentially, we are going to be receiving awards for fashion, innovation in fashion, from the Carib Style organization that's based in DC. It is Caribbean Heritage Month in the month of June, and it's something that they do every year. So it's going to be an award show and a fashion show, and I believe the following day is going to be a trunk show. So we still... The date of the show is June 25th. We're still working out our flight details, funding details, etc. But when everything's finalized, definitely you'll know. But definitely we're going to DC, and we're not going to pass up on an opportunity. And then it's such an honor to be actually receiving an award for fashion outside of St. Lucia.
Outside of St. Lucia.
It's my first fashion show outside of the region as well, right?
And is it your first award outside of the region?
My first award outside of St. Lucia, yes. And so I've gotten the 2 Entrepreneur of the Year, and I also won the Global Entrepreneurship Week Fashion Design Competition. So these are the 2 that I've received here. This is my first one outside of St. Lucia. And then actually this time I am going to be designing a line of clothing, because I figured if I'm going to get an award for fashion innovation, I need to come correct. So a lot of people have been pushing me. So it's going to be a capsule line. It's not going to be don't get too excited. I'm not moving into clothes. It's probably going to be the first and last time I'm going to do this because it's stressing me out. But there's going to be a small clothing collection to match my bags. Yeah, because it's 18 pieces. I never had to do so many pieces on a runway before, and it's 2 lines. So I'm doing one on my own, 18 pieces, and then a separate 18-piece collection together with Fiona, like we did at the second Haute Couture, which was very well received.
You just keep going and going and going. Don't mind Terry Bud talking about this is my first and last time. We all know that that's not gonna be true. I remember when I was trying to go to Paris and she was like, Jenna, if I was you, I would buy my own ticket and I would get on that plane. Don't make nobody.
And you did not listen to my advice. I'm trying to haunt you to this day.
No, I did not. But you are somewhat of a go-getter. She does not allow anybody or anything to prevent her from going to get what she wants.
You have to be that way. I mean, St. Lucia is a very small place, and unless you really push yourself, nothing gonna happen for you, really.
And you guys are go-getters as well. I mean, second year doing the jazz festival. I remember when you guys first got that contract, I think everybody was very, very happy and very proud.
So they won the second time?
By that time, you know, it's almost like it was expected. Like, who else are you going to give it to second time around? Tell us, for you, Wavemaker, it just, I don't know, maybe I'm late, I could be wrong, but you guys kind of just popped out of nowhere and just kind of just took off.
Yeah. Again, we have to say thank you a lot to social media for that, because a lot of our following, that's where it came from. So with regards to even the pictures, the images that we're putting out from previous jazz festivals and so on, the response to it is all from social media. And then everything that we've done since then, we've always stayed connected with our social media audience. So we can say that we owe a lot of it to that following, and we'll always be grateful for that.
Yeah, you guys are like social media guru. I have to say, you guys are everywhere. I follow James on Snapchat. I follow him on Instagram. I follow him on wherever he is, and he's always posting the coolest images possible. Now that drone, Ingrid is her name. Do you have another one?
Not yet. Yeah.
Ingrid has become very popular. Everybody actually knows your drone as Ingrid, and they speak about it like it's a person. And they talk about your shots. I mean, you fly it, and you fly it with such ease. I watched you over the jazz festival. How is it? I've seen people's drone fall in the harbor, fall in the beach. No, seriously, I have seen people fly drones and bloop, there it goes. I remember once a lady, I was at landings and it fell straight in the water, and we said, all right, we're coming back in 4 hours. As soon as you go inside, we're going to dive out there and see if we get it. We actually got it, by the way.
Okay.
We got it. But by that time, the parts were all messed up. But how do you fly that with such ease?
I mean, it's not something you just get just like that. The first time we got it last year, just in time for the jazz festival, I crashed it into a tree in Pigeon Island, right? And something broke off. But you know, since then, like we just been practicing. Even when we went to Jamaica, I mean, we were able. They allowed us to fly indoors. So when you look at the documentary, you'll actually see that we were allowed to fly indoors over the runway, which gave some amazing footage. But again, it's just practice. It's just, you know, taking precautions. I mean, it's still an aircraft. Sometimes people just get really cocky, as it were, and they will just take chances. But this drone that we have, we spend the extra bit of money because of how intelligent it is. And that's why Ingrid, she's quite special. So certain times, if it tells me that it needs to come back now, I listen to her and I bring her back now. And if not, she will take over and she will come back to me like straight away. So it's quite intelligent. And
it sounds very intelligent.
Smarter than
it sounds smarter than me. I'm telling you. I'm like, it needs to come back now. I guess photographers and persons like you would know that sort of like their own jargon, that own photography jargon that you have. So would you say that doing those type of shots are your favorite?
It has kind of become that. We love doing events. You know, I mean, just yesterday we done a destination wedding and it was so much hard work, and we're just like, let's stick to events. But, you know, you don't want to limit yourself.
Right.
You don't want to limit yourself, but we do love the aerial photography.
And what about documentaries? Now that you guys had the opportunity to actually do one, and you know, especially with these two, how do you think that documentaries is something that you'll develop a love for as well?
Maybe video is not really our forte, but we see the need for it. with regards to the editing of the video, a lot of the editing was done by Fiona Compton, because she's a videographer as well.
Right.
So again, these ladies are very versatile. So yeah, definitely down the line, we might look into it, as well as our other friend Kamani, Dream Vision. That's his forte, and he's always encouraged us. So down the line, you never know.
You never know what's coming. Now, I love video. Photography is not my thing, but I love video, which is probably why I'm stuck here in a television station. So when you do get a little more video, experience, you fall in love with it. I promise you.
Make a movie. You might be the lead actress.
Videos are pretty sweet. Now, guys, I don't know if you have had the opportunity to, if you've ever had the opportunity to speak with one of these guys, you can always Facebook message us on their Facebook or my Facebook or DBS's Facebook, and you can send them messages. I'll always pass it on. I'm sure they like to hear your feedback. Go out and check out the link. Where can we find the documentary online?
The documentary is on my Facebook page.
Right.
And always remember, you don't need to have a Facebook account to access that Facebook page. So you just type like a website, www.facebook.com/mem.bet. That's meme.bete.
Right.
It's also on the Paradise Prince Facebook page, and it's also on my website, www.membet.com. And it's also on my YouTube page, which is just Google Membet, you'll find a video.
Just Google Membet and you'll find it. Now, Tariba, I was looking out for you nomination Saturday. I don't understand what went wrong there.
Nomination day, oh my goodness, they had no water at home.
What went wrong there?
There was no water, so I'm like, I'm not leaving the house looking like this. I have a reputation to uphold, so 4 years from now, hopefully my eyebrows will still be on fleek and I'll still get your votes.
I came with my flag. We came ready.
You know how many people messaged me and told me that exact same thing? I think that is hilarious. Even my mother was edging me on. Why are you not going? You're not going? You don't see the time? I'm like, Mom, no. But,
it was just a joke.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like it was a joke that they wanted me to continue making, but I'm not going to make a mockery of the process like that. Are you going
to cancel it anytime?
Never. No.
Never?
No. I don't think that's a place for me. I am too, I don't have bricks on my mouth, as the St. Lucians say. I will get myself into a lot of trouble. I'm not very diplomatic, and I think that there are other ways to serve your community other than to get into politics.
Right. And you guys, are you all covering any political events?
I plead the fifth.
I mean, where we need the shots. Have you seen
United
those
League
crowds?
United League Party? Yeah, no, we have our own political party.
Ingrid need to fly over some of those events because
they are
they are guys. Come on, guys. I see we have a few more days to go. Just call James and just throw some of that campaign money his way. He'll make it worth your while. All right, so we have to wrap up right now. And it was such a pleasure to have you guys on.
Thank you for having us.
I appreciate it for coming out here this morning with me. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, don't forget to go on the Facebook page. Just Google Membet according to Tariba and you'll find that documentary. DBS will also be playing the documentary and we'll also show you a few snippets as well. Thank you once again for joining us. Join me back here, same place, same time tomorrow. It's always been a pleasure. Bye-bye.